Yeah. Good old fashioned, taken out to the woodshed and got our tail kicked. And they're good. I've said all along, I really like Shrew's team, and they're old. They're so old. They execute. They run great offense, and when you don't show up to play with much bite or much fight, this is what happens in the Big Ten. You have an off night. It was, get it to 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever it was, and then we foul, the guy who had 41 tonight. So Pickett's tremendous. We let him walk into 2 threes to start the game. Let him get his rhythm. Let him feel good. We did everything we said we weren't going to do or tried to do. But again, I didn't have much to say to the team afterwards except let's go home and get ready for the next one. It's a pretty helpless feeling when you didn't put up much of a fight tonight.
Brad, Pickett usually doesn't hit that many threes. How much more dangerous is he when he's able to get it going?
There's a problem when he does that, and then you can keep the ball for, you can keep the ball for 20 seconds. We had a 14-second possession in the game at our place, and it's not the NBA where they have a 5-second rule, allowing you to back in, and it becomes impossible to guard because he can just hold the ball all night. And college basketball, in my opinion, needs to look at that rule. But when the guy can keep the ball and just keep, and you can't guard it, he turns his back and you can't touch him. And then when he makes threes, we let him walk into the first 2. We went under him, and then we didn't even try to close out. That hasn't been us. But again, I'm not taking anything away from them. They were great tonight, and they probably would have beat the Celtics.
Brad, defense the last 10 games has been pretty good. Was it just the effort tonight, or were there some other deficiencies?
Oh, there's some communication issues, and I thought we showed some youth tonight, and inexperience. We tried to do we tried to push up a little bit on funk screens with him. But you got to really communicate that. You got to be very vocal with that, and we blew almost every one of them. We can practice it for a couple of days, but and you combine that with how good they are. You pick your poison with this team, whether you want to let them make threes or pick at the post, but and then we shot horrendously from the 3, so that didn't help either.
You got back to doing some switching. Did they force you to do that? And
yeah.
Were you trying to find an answer to with that?
Yeah, they that's their whole deal. That's why they're really hard to guard. And it's why it's really hard to guard to play little guards. Okay, and you pick your poison who you want to put them on. Our debate all week was, do we put Jaden and Sincere on Dredd, or their big guy, because they force you to switch, because Funk is an elite screener, and then he blurs a lot, and they force you to handle that switch. The 3 times we didn't, he shot naked layups, and so they do as much guard on guard screening because of Pickett than anybody in the country. And then when you can keep the ball all night, you never have to give it up. And if you blitz him, he passes it out. And I think they're one of the best teams in the country in lowest turnover rate out of double teams. So good offensive team. It's a really good offensive team. But I think we missed 20 shots in the first half. We had 1 offensive rebound. So I'll tell you where our effort and our mental capacity was today.
News before the game that Zach was leaving the program, going back to France. Was that a sudden thing, or how did that go?
Very. And it's what you deal with some international kids and having an opportunity to go make it a career. And so wish him nothing but the best. And we've got so many games left, and I'm not too worried about a guy that wasn't open this 1 game. So just an unfortunate or fortunate, however you want to look at it for him. I don't, like I said, I'm worried about the guys that are in that locker room.
I guess maybe not having much to say to the team afterwards, just to maybe get on. I mean, just how do you view this game, maybe in the broader scale of what you've done over the last month or so?
One game in 20. I mean, everybody in this league's going through, is going through or has gone through a moment. And you can't dwell on it. We got 5 games in like 9 days. Okay, with the COVID game. So if you think I want to not get home and try to get rest, and we've got Indiana and then Minnesota on Monday and then Northwestern. So yeah, we can't dwell on it. We've got to play better. We got to play harder.
Just an off night for Dane. Seemed to play through him well at Iowa and Rutgers. Is that just a game where he didn't have it?
Yeah. Yeah. Along with a lot of other dudes.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll have time Terrence in this hallway when they're ready. No, yeah. He's fighting about himself out of the hole. Yeah. I said that. It's like every game. Maybe we'll shit. That's what's he doing here? He did do a good job with that availability. He was like, I don't want to go. This is off. Try to justify it. I mean, but really two. No problem. And that's what he saw a lot of golf course. He went into the golf course and saw the not allowed at this establishment. I also played across the Brandon can justify it. I won't give you the feedback. I won't give you sign table.
No, my dad was good.
Yeah, well, this is the thing.
My buddy.
Late in the first. Late in the first? 2 minutes. It was right at the next break. I think it was the next step. Was it 2:50? He shot it over, danger. Yeah.
All right, let's take questions for Jalen.
Hello?
Jalen, how are you?
Good, good.
I would imagine. When you scored the 40th, Cam said something to you at the free throw line. One, what did he say to you? And two, how does this feel?
He said something along the lines of "you're tough." He said some other words with that, but it was something along the lines of "you're tough." Those guys are cheering me on all game, just telling me keep going, keep attacking, and we were just trying to get out this 4-game skid, so it was really good to get a win.
I was going to follow up on that, Jalen. This was a game you guys absolutely needed. How important was it to not only reach that milestone, but doing it a game that you needed?
Really important for us. Illinois is a good team. They have a positive record in the conference, so we know like going in we could beat anybody. So I think our mindset going in from now on is just try and go 1-0 and let the pieces fall within me at the end.
Kind of going off that a little bit, how crucial is this game for not only yourself, the confidence of yourself, but the confidence of your teammates?
Very important. I mean, losing 4 games, it's tough to get out of that. And, people come to practice sometimes, losing a couple games in a row, especially when you have like a really good team. And we had success early. So to put the games back to back like that, we lost. It was tough. But we had a really good couple days of practice, and our energy was good today in shoot around. Like I seen some smiles for the first time in a while. So I'm not surprised by the result.
Brad Underwood mentioned that they kind of let you walk into those 2 threes early, and that might have helped you get going. Did that help you get going? And how much does it help when you start really hitting early and keeping that momentum the rest of the way?
Definitely. I made my first couple shots, felt good, had a little bounce in my step, and I was just making shots, and coach just kept telling me, take my opportunities as they come. So I felt like they were trying to make me score a little bit today. They weren't really helping off. So if teams do that, I'm gonna have to try and make plays for myself.
So Jalen, what exactly goes into a 40-point game? Like how much work throughout the week for that to go right, and then what's the biggest differentiator between how tonight felt for you versus the past few games?
I actually took this from John last year. Like no matter win, lose or draw, John was always getting work in. So whether that was treatment on the court, off the court. So every day this week, I've really been trying to get in. Even on our off days, I'm gonna come in and get treatment and just do like some free throws or something, just to stay in that rhythm, stay in that groove. So I can credit John for that right there. But it just feels great, getting seeing your work go. I'm having a good year, and I hope to keep it rolling.
At what point in the game do you realize that this could be a special night for you, and how aware of you in game of your point total?
I actually didn't. At halftime, I had 20. So they told me at halftime I had like 20. So I just felt like right then I had it going, and my confidence was rolling right there. But you really don't try and look at that. I was just trying to keep going, keep expanding the lead, and hopefully I was trying to get out the game before like 4-minute media at the end. But sometimes you just got to keep going.
Jalen, you guys got off to a hot start out of the gates, but Illinois stayed in it. It came to be a 25-22 game at one point, and then you scored all 8 points during an 8-2 run. What was kind of your mindset, knowing that you guys have come so close on so many occasions this season, but have come up short pretty often, knowing that you had the hot hand? What was kind of your mindset going into that game that that you could score a will?
Just keep attacking. Just like I said, we were watching how they played. They changed up their defense a little bit from what we played them from before. So it was more denying handoffs, not hugging off shooters. So if danger was going to be in a drop, it was kind of like how they played with Kofi last year. So I knew I had to be a little bit more aggressive now.
Mike has stressed you guys' defensive effort really over those 4 games. Did you feel like steps were made tonight in that department?
I feel like steps were made in spurts. Like when our offense is going, we play good defense. Like we want to get more stops because we want to get on offense. But when teams are scoring, we get maybe a little bit overwhelmed. Like we want to play a perfect possession every time. So I think our mental needs to get a little bit stronger for us to keep going. But we got time to fix that.
Has Chelsea or anybody else told you about the historical significance, how long it was since somebody scored 40?
Yeah, Coach Drew said it was like 1950, said it, right? 1961, yeah.
So how do you wrap your head around that, knowing how many guys have actually played basketball here since then?
I'm just blessed. I thank God every day to, be able to play this game. That's why I walk around with a smile. I'm just so happy to be here, and, it's great playing with these guys.
What about a coach's decision to put you up top and put you on those ball screen actions and your ability to create switches? It seemed like you scored on every single guy on their team. Like your mind was working like a game of Tetris tonight. It's just, you were a step ahead. You could feel it. It would come back to you. Did you know you were going to have to break that down from the top the way you did rather than being posted up and facing doubles?
Definitely. Coach Drew said after the last game he's going to try some different things. So we might get into that a little bit more. But I mean, I'm surrounded by great shooters, so it's hard for people to help anyway. And now Kanye and Cam are doing a great job getting downhill and putting pressure on defense. So then when people have to rotate out of that, I can play off closeouts, it's making my job a lot easier.
Jalen, you mentioned seeing a lot of smiles pre-game for the first time in a while. What kind of caused that and allowed you guys to kind of free yourselves up a little bit mentally?
I think just going just talking about it, just talking about each and every game that we've played during the stretch, watching film, like we've been like implementing new clips of us doing good in some of these losses instead of just all bad clips. There's been a lot of good clips too. Like we're playing good basketball, even though we are on a losing streak. We're still doing some things good. I think that was big for us. Just everybody having a positive attitude, showing that we're doing good things, and when we all get on the same page, we're gonna be a really tough team to beat.
Jalen, how important was it for you guys to get into the bonus? So much time left in the second half, and how much of a surprise was that to you?
It's been very important. We've been, talking about how we can draw more fouls. What can we do? Because we shoot a lot of threes. We don't really go to the basket a lot or whatever. So coach is like, well, if people jump in the air, we got to go into them and try and get into the bonus early because people are putting us in the bonus. So we just got to be more aggressive, put the pressure on other teams.
We'll do last question to Ryan in the back.
Jalen, it's obviously a really historical night. Has that kind of settled in, and kind of what made you be able to just kind of go off tonight?
I think, my first couple shots were pretty wide open. I kind of got going. I got in a little bit of a rhythm. They were telling me before the game when we go through film that they were playing certain defense. They were really hugging shooters and dropping. So once you see the ball go in a couple of times, you start feeling good. And I was just able to take advantage of the defense. And, my teammates keep telling me to shoot and cheering me on. I mean, that's always a good feeling too. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jalen.
Thank you.
First off, I want to, when we did the moment of silence earlier, before the game for for the Michigan State community. And just everything that's going on there, hearing yesterday and hearing the next couple of days for them, it's something that, like, you know, you think about and you worry about, right? Like, you know, I got young kids, and you see stuff that happens across the country, and it's like, it's one thing you worry about, right, as a dad. So just thinking about them, like everybody in that whole East Lansing community and what they're going through. Like our guys, like I told our guys, like, we get the benefit of playing a kids game, man. Like, it's fun. It's really fun. It's fun to compete. Like, this league sucks to compete in, but like, it's fun, like what we're doing. And like, yeah, like adversity hit our team, and we had lost 4 games in a row. I told them if that 4 game, you know, losing 4 games in a row is the worst thing that happens to you, you have lived a blessed life. Right? Some of our guys have, like, things have happened worse than this to them here in the past few weeks. But like, this is basketball. This is what they care about. And this team, like, we're living in the moment. And I thought that they did a great job responding every single time. And same thing with the staff. Our staff has been great. I probably haven't been the easiest guy to kind of be around in the last couple of weeks, but they keep coming back. They keep motivating our guys. They keep getting ready for the next game. They keep asking me if I need something. Those guys have been special. So I just wanted to make sure I said something about, you know, those guys as well, and what they're doing. And I'm proud of our guys and proud of their effort.
Good for Jalen to have 41 tonight. How aware were you of that down the stretch of the game, and what did you see from him early that kind of allowed him to get through?
I wasn't aware though. You know he's going, right? I never look at that scoreboard up top. I never look at the box scores when they bring them at timeouts. So I'm just locked in on what I'm seeing throughout the game. I don't know what the exact numbers are. So, you know, I got the box score at halftime. I'm talking about, hey, we got to, you know, I'm walking back to our locker room. I'm like, hey, we got to do this better. I think we can do this better. I think we can attack this way. And they hand me a stat sheet. I'm like, he's got 24 points. Wow. Right. And then I don't know what the crowd's cheering for at the end of the game. I have no clue. And I look up, I'm like, he's got 40. So, like, that's special, man. You know, sometimes when you're going through it, you just need somebody special to have a special performance. And I think that's what he did. But not to, like, downplay what some of the other guys did. I thought maybe they didn't score as much, maybe they didn't rebound as much, but I thought their effort and some of the contributions we got from everybody was special.
Micah, how crucial was it for you guys to be able to bounce back and just regain some of your confidence just with a win like that?
These, you know, I probably, and I'll take all the blame for really how we played at Wisconsin. You know, maybe like I need to be more positive with what we did and how we responded. But I thought our guys did an unbelievable job after that game of regrouping, of learning through their mistakes, and coming back and playing like really hard at Maryland. We weren't crisp the whole 40 minutes, but I thought we did. The effort was there. Our execution was there for the most part, but it wasn't there for 40 minutes. But then when we came back, you know, we've been playing, we haven't had a day off in a while because we've been playing back to back to back pretty quick, 2-day turnaround. When we came back Sunday after that game, there was like you could see like an air of confidence. And then we had a good day of practice, and we came back yesterday and we had another good day of practice. And then when I walked down for shoot around today, and then throughout our shoot around, our spirit was great. Our spirit was great. Like those guys they weren't broken. They weren't broken. They were together. They were ready to fight. they were ready to fight together. And I think that's the biggest thing is, they didn't let anything affect them, right? That's, you know, a sign of maturity. That's a sign of a group that's together. And, like I said, I'm proud of those guys. They're winning despite their coach.
Mike, a lot of focus on Jalen, obviously scoring a bunch of points, but a couple things that were kind of a hallmark for you guys when you were playing well, not allowing points off turnovers and limiting second chance points, maybe until the very end of the game. How important was that on this night?
Yeah, that was big against these guys. If you turn it over and they get out in transition, good luck to you, right? Terrence Shannon is as fast as anybody in this league getting the ball in transition, and then he started to push the ball in transition at the end of the first half after makes. So we had to sprint back and try and build balls, and you know it was a point of emphasis. You have to keep these guys out of the paint as much as possible. You can't allow them to get in transition. I thought limiting our turnovers was big. Like we had 7, but we had a couple late. Limiting our turnovers was huge, and then not letting them get offensive rebounds is huge because they can take shots and then they can just kill you on the glass. I thought we did a good job of boxing them out and limiting them to one shot.
It looked like you made some pretty significant rotational adjustments this time around. I don't think we saw Caleb or Dalian, and then Jameel Brown also played pretty early on, and Kanye played a significant amount of time. Just wondering what went into some of those decisions.
Yeah, just trying to keep guys fresh, giving them small breaks here or there, trying to get it around the media so they get a little bit longer break. I think Dalian and Millsy will keep flip-flopping throughout the year, giving Funk that break, that few minutes that he needs. I think Caleb's got a chance to do it, right? But Hawkins is such a matchup that you have to play small against them. That's how we've decided we need to play. And then, Danger didn't play as much, right? So that limits like Keba, Mikey, Caleb, who can play against him. Hawkins is so good off the dribble, especially if he has a bigger guy on him, that we weren't willing to try and take that chance. So I think matchups dictate a lot of stuff in how we play. So Kanye, he played a lot against these guys the last time. He's played well the last couple of games, but we also need him to because you need multiple guys that can handle the ball. So having him, having Pick, having Cam, you got two of those guys out there the whole time. So now, Terrence Shannon was hounding Pick at full court. So now one of those guys can bring it up, and it conserves his energy, right? Where he didn't have to 94 feet against a good defender. It allows somebody else to do it. Now he can just get down the floor and conserve some of that for scoring and on the defensive end.
You drew some shooting fouls tonight and got to the bonus early in the second half. What were the differences that you felt in this game? What difference did it make in the game?
I think our guys kind of realizing how they played. They're one of the best shot blocking teams in our league. So trying to play off 2 feet, being disciplined, and using shot fakes, whether it be on the perimeter or in the paint. And then, people are so focused on our threes, not letting us get threes. I think we had more people attacking the rim on drives. We had more people driving the ball, pick it down in the post. So trying to get some switches and get to the matchups that we wanted, where he was drawing those fouls. So, and then some of those, we got rebound. We got in the bonus early, and then we got a couple free throws early. Had some free throws on defensive rebounds, just boxing out, being in the right spot, being strong with the ball. So it's helpful, right? Then you're not scrapping for every single point you get.
Yesterday, you talked about Kanye needing to, after Saturday, needing to string together the practices and then needing to string together the games. From our perspective, it looked like he did that. What did you see? What did you guys learn about him or see from him yesterday into today?
Yeah. I mean, you play a game like he did at Maryland, right? And then you come out for walkthrough the next day and you're still not starting. How do you react to that? And he was okay with it. It was time to let's get back to work, right? Let's, I don't think he's got the air of I've arrived. He's still a worker. He's still a guy that there's a lot to learn. And sometimes it's beneficial for him to start the game on the bench because now he can see how they're guarding stuff, right? In the moment. He didn't have to do it in the moment, right at the start of the game of like they switch up a defense different than how we practiced it. Like, how do you react to that? Right now, he can sit and watch it for 4 to 5 minutes, figure out how people are guarding things. He can sit next to one of our assistant coaches and talk through it. So now he's better equipped. So when he gets in, he can do it, right? That's, the benefit of having Cam and Pickett, where they can react to things just because they play a lot. They can react to how, different matchups that they may start with, or different coverages, pick and roll, ball screen, whatever it may be. They can react to that in real time, and he'll be able to as well, like the more games that he gets under his belt. So he's had a good couple of days. We need him to keep doing it, right? He's given us a different element because of how people are staying on, they're trying to take Funk away, they're trying to take Seth away. I would too, right? Because how well they shoot it. It's leaving some driving lanes at the rim, and that's one of his strengths, is getting by people and getting to the rim.
Okay, you had mentioned needing to be more positive. Jalen mentioned that the film sessions were more positive recently. What spurred that change, and what made you do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said, just trying to learn in different ways, like how this team, how they react to certain situations. We've been known to have success and then let our foot off the gas. But we also we respond to positivity and negativity in different ways. Not everybody's the same. So how Pickett responds to something might be different for Funk. How Seth responds to something might be different than Kanye or Keva. So you just got to find that. You got to find that balance of what they need, how you talk to them, and how they are leading into it. Right? Like I said, our spirit's been great the last couple of days. So I can have a positive film session with them and showing them what we need to do and where we're getting better. And they're reacting to it in the right way. So it's all a learning process. And we're just going to keep learning. We're just going to keep staying together as a group, fighting through whatever comes next, and just keeping this same one game at a time.
Jalen, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but basically acknowledge being a feel-good defensive team, right? When shots are falling, it's easier to play defense. How are you grappling with that at this point in the season, and where are they in terms of development that you'd like to see on that end of the floor?
Yeah, I thought the things that we worked on in practice the last 2 days and emphasized, felt like we did a better job of doing it. That's our biggest issue right there, is having carryover. But then having the discipline to do it every single time. And I thought for the most part we did it. There's still some things that we can get better at, we can clean up. But this team's a hard team to guard. Just because they have so many guys that can make plays off the bounce. They got guys that can shoot threes, they can score in the post. So we did they challenge you. They challenge your principles, but I thought we tried to do what we were supposed to do. And a couple of times we didn't quite have that discipline at the end, but it's something we can watch and we can learn from. And now, when we play Minnesota, let's do the same thing. Let's be a little bit better at those things that we weren't good at. Let's correct those and let's continue to play at the highest level that we can defensively. Shout out to everybody that's going through thon this weekend. Dancers, all the dancers that are going through it. Good luck to you. Everybody that's going to be here in attendance. Raise a hell of a lot of money. Good luck to everybody.